Hey everybody, welcome back to Everyman Prepping. I'm Seth, and today we're going to talk about how Russia, the polls are just ending. Their election for the presidency is going on. It just ended. They're doing the vote counting now, and there's no question whatsoever whether or not Putin's going to win. And we're not going to get into the election things going on over there because people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, and we have our own issues with our elections here. But the fact for the last 3 days, the voting's been going on, and during those last 3 days, Russia has been attacked inside their own country from Ukraine, both with troops, whether they be Ukrainian or third party or Russian separatists, whatever, and from drones from above, and also from rockets and shelling. All that during the election, and Putin has really done nothing in response. So why is that? We're going to look at some of these attacks, and then we're going to talk about why has Russia not done anything to stop this? Are they just waiting for a buildup? It's very unique. I think we're in for something big. As soon as this election is called for Putin, like I said, which I don't think there's any question that's going to happen. It might even happen today, later on. As soon as that happens, I think you're going to see a great strike, great retaliation from Russia. Well, let's look at what's been going on really quick here. So this we're going to start off with is in Transnistria. And as you can see, this is a helicopter that's been blown up. And we'll max it out here for you. Transnistria had elections. They decided they would join the Russian election, so they had elections for Putin and what else was going on. And today a drone hit a helicopter over there, as you can see, destroyed it. Transnistria holds the largest storage facility of ammunition in Europe. It's a giant bunker complex, has millions and millions of rounds and missiles of ammunition in a like I said, a bunker system very close to Ukraine. Ukraine's probably would love to get their hands on that, since you'll see a little archive later on. Well, they all run out of ammunition. Is this the start of something to happen? Is this just a one-off? But yeah, so Transnistria has joined in with this. But let's get to what I mentioned earlier. As I do that, please share your own theories on why you think Russia has not really reacted at all. Why haven't they done anything? They just absorbed hit after hit, attacks at the voting booths, all that stuff. What do you think is going on? I'm going to tell you in a minute what I think, but write down below what you think. Also hit that like button, subscribe, share the channel, all that great stuff. I really appreciate you guys out there. So this we see is a map of Moscow, and then you see this airport down here where my cursor is. You see it's an airport called Domodedovo, probably pronounced like that, but you can see some air defense around the city. But this was just hit by drones. 2 drones got through, hit the airport. Didn't really, damage much, but the drones got through and exploded. I'm waiting to get some good photos of it. All they have out there right now is some planes flying overhead. Not planes. You hear the drones flying and explosion. Haven't seen a picture, but to get this close to Moscow and to get through the air defense and actually land on an airport close to Moscow, I think it's like 12 miles away from Moscow center here. That's pretty remarkable that this is happening. It's like Ukraine is throwing everything they have just to. It's not going to change the tide of the war. That's one thing we're going to go through this. You're not changing the tide of war by doing this. By hitting Russia like this, you're not going to get them kicked out of the Ukrainian lands they took. You're just, I think, might as well get into this now. As we look at this here, go ahead and look at these. These are in Belgorod. You can see, they're launching missiles and MLRS and GMRS into Belgorod region, which I'll pull up real quick on a map before we go back. You can see that this is a map here of let's go here. This is Ukraine. You got Kiev, you got Crimea down here, but this little red highlighted is Belgorod, and this is where a lot of the incursions have been going. A lot of the missiles, a lot of the drones have been going into this area, and that's that blown up apartment building you saw is right here. Down the south, we're talking a little bit, southern Russia over here, a lot of oil refineries getting hit. They're going after the oil. So that's the region we're talking about. Now let's go back over here and look at this photo here. You can see they're going after the civilian infrastructure, and then we have, another building hit pretty hard. And, and people are dying, why this is happening. It's just not hitting infrastructure, but as you can see from this article here, 2 killed in Ukrainian shelling of Russian regional capital. They're talking about Belgorod right here. So what is all this attacking doing? Ukraine's not going to invade Russia and make them stop. This won't make Russia stop, but I think they're trying to egg Russia on. They're trying to pester them so much, cause so much issues, hit the refineries, economic pain, rile the citizens up. They want Russia to hit them hard. Ukraine wants to get hit. They're trying to provoke them into hitting them hard, because they really want NATO to send those troops. They want NATO to send the planes. They want NATO in Ukraine fighting Russia. I think Zelensky, this is his last straw. He knows he's losing. He knows that there's a lot of push for him to negotiate on the peace table. And his last straw is, I need NATO in here. I need NATO to do this. The Macron from France and Germany, they've talked about putting troops. They said they don't want to escalate it. So Zelensky's thinking, I'm going to make Russia escalate it. I'm going to send everything I have instead of going down to the south of Ukraine trying to kick him out. I'm going to hit Russia proper, hoping Russia and Putin will strike me so hard or will attack NATO directly where they'll come into my country and save it. That's what I think is going on. We'll see what Putin does in a little bit, but let's continue with what we have here. Also on the red banner, you can see this. I may have talked about this in another video, but African state scraps military ties with the U.S. It's more proof the U.S. is losing their, the bully pulpit, losing their premier status across the world. They're talking about Niger here. They had a coup, remember? They kicked out the country, and the AWACS and the eastern, African countries were going to kick him out. They're going to go in, but nothing's happened, right? Well, they just decided that we're going to cut off military ties to the United States, and we want the U.S. Military out of there. There's 2 bases in Niger that the United States uses for, anti-terrorist drone operations. Who knows what they're really doing? But they want them out. They're kicking them out, so you can't stay here. So we'll see how that goes. But once again, have you ever heard that before? The United States getting kicked out of country without fear of what they do? People don't fear it anymore. Anyway, back to this. Little sidetrack there. We got 2 Ukrainians killed here in bombings. It says several others have been wounded in the shelling of the Russian city of Belgrade by Ukrainian forces. The local governor says put out at least 8 rockets headed towards the city, where there's it's a big city. It's 334,000 people. Most were intercepted by the air defense, but some got through, he said. And then they've also had ground incursions. For the last 2 or 3 days, this has all been going on. They, and they're calling them Russian separatists. Who knows where they're really from, but they're going in there, and they're trying to get across the border with tanks and armored carriers. They've been repelled by the Russians, but still something the Russians have to deal with. And then we have this. This is more in the southern part, what I talked about on this map here. The southern part of Russia over here is where they've been hitting the oil refineries. And as you can see from this post here, it says the armed forces of Ukraine have struck their 6th oil refinery in the last week. And they're sending one-way suicide drones, and they're really having a hard time over there. And let's see if we can blow some of these up. You can check them out here really quick. But when you hit an oil refinery, you gotta stop refining the oil. It slows it down. It hurts the economy. Major oil exports is Russia's getting a lot of its money right now while it's under their sanctions. A lot of it goes to China and other countries. Iran, supplies a lot of it. But you can see from this here that they're hitting there. What else we got a picture of? Let's see. They got more of a impact going on here. You can see the explosion. Let me restart that. But you hit them financially. You hit the civilian population. You take out their monetary funds. Yeah, you're gonna piss Russia off, and that's, like I said, what I think they're trying to achieve here. And one of the reasons might be what you have here on this report. Ukraine is facing such a severe shortage of ammunition that the country may exhaust its air defense missiles by the end of March. That's from the Telegraph from the UK. So, yeah, is Russia running out of? Is Ukraine running out of ammo? Yeah, probably. The United States hasn't been able to send any, and hopefully we don't send any more because it's just going to waste. So is this a way to, provoke Russia, like I said, for that huge attack, for NATO to say, we got to go in. Also, that relates back to Transnistria. There is that huge ammo dump there, huge, massive ammo dump. I don't think Russia, I think they'd blow it before they let Ukraine take it over, and it's probably mined and ready to go, and it'd be a massive destruction. But, maybe that's why there's a Transnistrian helicopter attack. They're going to do that. There is a small group of Russians, military soldiers in Transnistria. Is this to get them to bolster more troops there? Who knows? But I think after this election, we're really going to see Putin react. He's got to bide his time here for these next 3 days, the past 3 days, and today's the last day. When he's once again reelected as president, I think you're going to see a huge mobilization, hundreds of thousands more Russians coming in. He's going to start hitting hard. He might even hold back. He might send all the missiles, the planes, whatever he's got into Ukraine to quiet this down, because he just, for his own population. He can't just keep absorbing these attacks and doing nothing, especially with the oil refinery and the financial aspect of that, and with the civilians getting hit. So look for that to happen. Look for something big to happen. The election's over, time's coming. And then also, let me show you this. We had this come out. This is, let me put it up here. This one just came out recently. And it's basically showing, a Russian attack on the United States, how it might go. Some are saying the Russian media put it out, the news media, but, they have that stance where, from Dmitry Medvedev to other ones where, hey, we will do a first strike. If we think that, our existence is at stake, or our, people, we can do this first strike and we will, we'll win. And here, this is San Francisco that you can see being taken out here. That's the Transamerica building. And then it goes further, and we got some New York coming up here in a little bit. That might have been Vegas. I'm not sure what that one was there. But you can see, this has come out as Times Square, I believe. But, it's just a little propaganda film. But as you can see, that is something that's been, put out lately. So be ready for something big to happen. Hopefully NATO doesn't take the bait. Because once NATO gets involved directly, well, we might see what we just watched. Because it's not going to be a conventional war for long. It's just not worth it for wasting of all the conventional weapons. For, I think, Russia, that said that we're not going to waste our time with that. We will set off 1 or 2 tactical nukes, and maybe that'll stop it. But then maybe that escalates to more further attacks. We don't know, but all these attacks from Ukraine into Russia are not good. It's not going to end well for that at all. So that's what I wanted to give to you today. That's what I want to present to you. I wanted to hear your thoughts on that. Let us know. Hopefully the last few days, I've been out hitting the prep hard in the garden, hitting it hard. I got the potatoes going in. I'm going to do a video about how I do my no-till potatoes. Been working hard on that, getting the rest of the garden ready, getting all the supplies I need to get those seedlings in the ground, because before the big glowy thing shows on the sky, we've got to make sure we have our own food and can take care of ourselves. So, until next time, keep your ear to the ground, head on a swivel.